1-0 to the Arsenal. That is the only thing that matters. There seems to be this desire to pull apart this Arsenal performance. Are they playing as fluidly as they should be? Are they looking as free-flowing as they once did earlier in the season? Is there a chink in the armour? They don't seem to be scoring as many goals. Doesn't matter. Win the game. They did that. They secured the 3 points. And yet again, Mikel Arteta has found a way. Remember, it was only a couple of games ago that they dropped points to Manchester City and everybody thought that the title momentum had shifted. The needle had moved. Arsenal were no longer favourites. Pep Guardiola had defeated Arteta at the Emirates. In quite a convincing way, Arsenal will not demonstrate the minerals, the fight, the hunger, the determination to come back from here. Guess what? Since then, they have won 2 away games. And one of those away games today is at a bogey ground for Arsenal. It's a huge 6 points that they have taken in those 2 games. And it is a hell of a response. Off the back of that defeat to City, it really is a powerful demonstration of Artetaism. Very, very impressive from them indeed. And remember, at this stage of the season, nothing else matters. Just win the game. We are entering the business stage of the season and a win is all that matters. Of course, Arsenal were not at their fluid best. Who cares? Do you think the 3,000 fans in that away end cared? You know when they were bouncing, singing they were going to win the league? Do you think they cared? You know when they were singing that tequila song? Do you think they cared? They weren't fluid. Who cares? It doesn't matter. If you're a football hipster, these things matter. If you are a proper football person, all you're looking for is fight, passion, hunger, determination, and crucially, the 3 points. And the 1-0 to the Arsenal. Do you know what? I actually think that it's more significant to be winning games the way that they did at Villa Park and the way that they did today rather than blowing teams apart. It means more. Honestly, I truly believe that it means more to win 1-0 in a scrappy way, to win 4-2 when the game looked like it was going to fizzle out in a draw. I think it's more significant rather than slapping teams up 4 and 5-0 because it demonstrates different properties. And the properties that it demonstrates are the properties of champions. You are winners. You never say die. You are resilient. You are determined. And that is undoubtedly what this Arsenal team are. They are undoubtedly mentally tough. And how rare is it to be able to say that about an Arsenal team? Over the years, whether it's William Gallas crying on the pitch at St Andrews or countless other moments where we thought they were going to win the league, there has always been a fragility to their mentality, not this mob. This mob are not like that. This mob are resilient and strong and determined. And they have got the 3 points, again piling the pressure on Manchester City. Because, look, Manchester City are playing away at Bournemouth and obviously they should win, but you know when there's a European fixture, that data tells you that Manchester City are more likely to drop points this weekend than they are on other weekends. If you play in the Champions League in the week, chances of you dropping points in the domestic fixture on the weekend are intensified. And Arteta will obviously know this. So securing the 3 points to add to the pressure of that moment. Manchester City now, they're about to kick off. They simply have to win, because Arsenal will force them into that situation. We saw the significance of this last week. Arsenal won at Villa Park and it put pressure on Man City and Manchester City dropped points. They've done it again. And this time they've done it off the back of a European week. So that really is significant. Look, it was nerve-wracking for Arsenal. It was disjointed. It wasn't pretty. But it's irrelevant. They've conquered a bogey team away from home. They're now 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League. We are in round 24. It's nearing. It's happening. We are getting to the serious business end of the season. And look, it's important to remember, as I pointed out earlier in this video, there has been a fragility among Arsenal for a while. And, you know, the last time that they were in this position at this stage of the season, they actually managed to finish 4th. So I imagine that Arsenal fans are still fairly nervous. They'll still be aware of the threat imposed by Manchester City. But from my perspective, and I don't really have a dog in the fight. I mean, I have a dog in the fight in as much as I don't want Arsenal to win the league. I'm from Kilburn in northwest London. It's an Arsenal area, really. I could desperately do with Arsenal not winning the league. But I think I can kind of see it with a bit more perspective than Arsenal fans. If you're invested in this and you've got season ticket Arsenal, or you live your life by the Arsenal fixture list, you're going to be so tribal about this. And I honestly think that they're going to do it. I can't see a world now where Manchester City stop them. Because I think, on top of everything else, Manchester City look more vulnerable than Arsenal. Manchester City look more likely to drop points than Arsenal. So look, Arsenal fans are going to be incredibly happy. They're going to be singing all the way back to London. As soon as their train pulls into St Pancras, you will hear the Saliba song. You will hear songs about them winning the league. And you never know. There is a chance that Bournemouth could do them a favour. It's such a big victory, and it's one they deserved. You know, overall, they controlled the game very well. They made the most of the one clear chance that they carved out. And look, overall, it was, at least in the first half, it was a good game. You know, they did very well. It was a good performance, I thought, from Trossard. He played as a false nine. He created the winning goal. Lovely little nutmeg involved as well. Martinelli scored. But so many players deserve a mention here. Do you know who I thought was excellent today? Granit Xhaka. He did so much dirty work. He was excellent. You know, winning fouls, just taking the sting out of the game, being a nuisance for Leicester to deal with, and being such a huge player in his team. He's having a massive season, Granit Xhaka, and I feel like he is going slightly unsung. I feel like people aren't necessarily acknowledging the contribution. You know, when you think about the midfielders, you're hearing a lot of talk about Jorginho at the moment. Obviously, Thomas Partey gets so much praise. I think when we talk about Arsenal players, you know, Trossard gets a mention, Saka naturally does. Eddie Nketiah gets his moment. The centre-halves today, amazing. Gabriel in particular, outrageously good. Granit Xhaka, though, I think he is the unsung hero of this team. Playing so well, and I thought he shone. And he was a major reason that Arsenal, overall at least, controlled the game today. There were VAR frustrations from them again. The Trossard goal, in my opinion, it was rightly ruled out. I think Ben White committed a foul. I think it was a foul. However, I would also say that Saka should have been given a penalty. That was a foul. I don't really know what that suitor's doing. Like, you can't bundle over a player like that. It's your responsibility as a defender to win the ball and win the ball cleanly. You can't sort of go via a shortcut to the ball via the player. And I'm surprised that wasn't given. But what a moment it was today for Arsenal. I thought Leicester didn't really offer very much. They was fairly uninspiring. I think they only had one shot on goal, and I don't think any shots on target. So overall, Arsenal were clear, worthy winners. But this Arsenal team are really looking like a force. And Saliba and Gabriel were exceptional. That is another away clean sheet for them. I mean, is it the best centre-half partnership in the league at the moment? Is it the most stingy backline in the league at the moment? I think possibly. Huge result for Arsenal. What a statement from them. And what a statement it is off the back of losing at home to Manchester City to come back the way they've done. I'll have a sip of this Rosie Lee now and say I will see you all later on. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with me? Have Arsenal won the league? Do you believe that it's heading to the Emirates for the first time in 2 decades? Or do you think there's more twists and turns to come? Please give this video a like if you've enjoyed it, and I would love for you to click the subscribe button. Thank you so much. See you all in a bit.